Bauman was born in 1937 in Shadwell, Nebraska, to E.O. and Frida Bauman. At the age of 7, Tom went to work setting up pins at the local bowling alley. As he got a little older, he started splicing film together at the movie theater, held 3 paper routes, and washed airplanes in exchange for a free 10-minute ride. Despite all of his childhood jobs, he was still able to earn an Eagle Scout badge. Growing up during the World War II era, he would trade cigarettes for buttons and patches from the POWs on their way to the POW camps in Crawford, Nebraska. He attended college at Shadwell State, where his desire to serve the country and see the world led him to the U.S. Air Force. His love for radio started when he hosted a Sunday jazz program for the base radio station. After his honorable discharge, Tom moved back to the Black Hills, taking an announcing job at KOBH Radio in Hot Springs, South Dakota. It was there where a chance meeting with a grocery checker at Red Owl Grocery led him to the love of his life, Deanna Kaiser. They were married in 1961 and shortly after moved to Cheyenne to accept a job with General Dynamics, where he would also fuel his passion for radio by taking a part-time position with 1590 KCHY. Tom's inspection job with General Dynamics eventually led him to head the Atlas Missile Project at F.E. Warren Air Force Base. With a baby on the way, he wanted more stability for his family and took a job with KRAE-AM, K-Ray. Owner Lou Irk stated they wanted to make K-Ray swing. Lou told Tom, "I know with you on board most of the day, we can do it. I'll have to ask you to work more than $100 a week worth, but I'm sure that you will find that it will pay off for you in the long run." This vision for Tom's radio career would come to fruition. He held many hats at the station and eventually became owner and president of K-Ray Incorporated with his wife Deanna by his side. Tom knew the importance of community involvement, and because of his involvement in community events, K-Ray thrived. In addition to his top 40 music format, he added local programs such as the UP Call Board, Swap Shop, What Do You Think?, All-American Spanish Show, the East High Thunder Vaults program, Lost and Found, and We Care announcements, plus much more. Tom and his staff would soon win over the listeners and community businesses. Proud of his standalone AM station, Tom knew it was time to expand when the FCC opened up bidding on a new FM signal, 104.9 in 1993. In 1997, a new FM radio station would hit the airwaves, 104.9 KZCY. Daughter Brenda encouraged her dad to choose the new rock alternative format, which soon filled a hole missing in the Cheyenne market and became a huge success with the younger listening audience. With his dynamic AM-FM combo and over 40 years in the business, Tom and Deanna made the decision to sell the stations in 2002 to Mountain States Radio. Tom stayed on as a consultant and continued to serve his sales accounts. However, Tom stated that watching someone else run the station is like watching someone else raise your kids. It is never going to be good enough. Tom shut the door to that era of his life, and shortly after, new opportunities presented themselves. After all, Tom didn't have it in his blood to totally walk away from radio. Tom's big bass voice was not meant to be silenced and was soon being heard across Cheyenne on KGAB AM with a program called Tom's View. The show discussed world issues, his travels, people, and of course promoting the city and state he was so proud to call home.
Well, one of those really feel-good things. You know, we only talk about positive things on Tom's View on KGAB, 650 AM in Cheyenne, each and every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 AM for the last couple of years. I think everybody knows that, but that's the way I've operated all my life, because that's the only way I found that I could really survive from day to day, is to maintain a positive attitude on things. For Tom's View, I told you we had a positive program for you this morning. We've got more coming your way right here on Tom's View on KGAB 650 AM in Cheyenne.
When Montgomery Broadcasting took over the LMA for Tracy Broadcasting, Dave Montgomery contacted Tom to serve as general manager for KOLT-FM, which he did from November 2010 to August 2012. 3 days after having pacemaker surgery, Tom was determined to host his show. He asked his daughter Brenda, a Cheyenne radio personality, to be his backup in case something happened. He told her, "Hell, it's easy, just crack the mic and hit the buttons," which is the same thing he told her when he hired her in 1981. Tom hosted his final Tom's View program on Saturday, August 11th, 2012. That big heart of his quietly quit beating a few days later on August 15th. A special edition of Tom's View, hosted by his good friend Dave Chafin, would air the day of his memorial service. The phone lines were flooded with callers sharing countless stories of the impact Tom had on their lives. Tom had two specific goals in life: provide and take care of his family, and to leave Cheyenne a better place than he found it. Tom became a dedicated volunteer of Cheyenne Frontier Days. He worked every minute of every performance since 1961. He was a backup announcer to Chuck Parkinson, Hadley Barrett, and Justin McKee. He was a member of the CFD Heels, serving as Leather Heel for 2 years. He set guidelines for expanding membership into Heels. The guidelines he set for CFD volunteers are still in place today. Tom was inducted into the CFD Hall of Fame with the class of 2010. Through his friendship with Governor Stan Hathaway in 1964, Tom learned of the success of a college in Torrington. In 1965, Tom and a small subcommittee campaigned to establish a community college in Cheyenne. He was elected as a founding member of the Laramie County Community College Board in 1968 and served in all board offices and formed the Wyoming Association of Community College Trustees. He was also appointed by Governor Ed Herschler to represent LCCC on the Wyoming Community College Commission. All in all, Tom dedicated 42 years to the faculty, staff, and students of Laramie County Community College. Mayor Rick Kaysen would issue an official proclamation of Tom Bauman Day, July 19, 2012, in conjunction with the dedication of Tom Bauman Loop at LCCC, an honor that was very well earned by a man that had such an amazing vision for Cheyenne. Tom's community activities were varied and widespread, from chairman of the Commerce, Tourist, and Convention Committee to local and national affairs, business and education committees, establishing the 1% local option sales tax projects, and his work with Kiwanis and FFA. Tom took it upon himself to put together the positive forces on locating the MX missiles to southeast Wyoming. His daughter Brenda recalls taking a phone call from the White House, which they originally thought was a phone prank by Jimmy Valdez, one of their employees. Sure enough, it was President Ronald Reagan. Thanks to Tom, the MX missiles project ended up at F.E. Warren Air Force Base. Tom established and founded the Silent Witness Crime Stoppers program in Cheyenne, and served as their chairman since inception. He has literally won hundreds of awards and recognitions for his many civic activities and leadership at local, state, and national levels over his 52-year radio career. Tom fulfilled his two goals in life. He provided for and loved his family, his wife of 50 years, Deanna, daughters Brenda Foley and Michelle Cook, along with their husbands, Joe and Terry. His 3 grandchildren, Brianne, Travis, and Time, and great-grandson, Riker. Last, but certainly not least, he without a doubt left Cheyenne a much better place than how he found it. The city and citizens of Cheyenne owe Tom a gratitude of thanks for his dedication, his forward thinking, and the many years he had listeners informed and entertained. He will always be known as the Spirit of Cheyenne, and his legacy will live forever. The Wyoming Association of Broadcasters is proud to posthumously induct Tom Bauman into the class of 2013 Hall of Fame.